So Digital Extremes just revealed a couple of new things arriving on the upcoming TechnoCite Encore update. The new content will go live on March 19 by the way, and there are tons of things to tackle here. But in this video, I would like to focus on the new item called Arcane Hotshot. So basically, this Arcane allows you to gain weapon critical chance percentage for 10 seconds when using abilities that inflict hit status to enemies. At max rank, this Arcane will give any Warframe that can deal hit damage through abilities a maximum of 300% critical chance. This is really insane, and I'm kind of excited using this with my hit buffer Ember. If you can recall, I have shared a video wherein I focus my build on using the Kuva Ogris with my high power strength Ember. By the way, this build has way more power strength back then because of the Red Tauforge Archon Shard, but I removed it and placed it on my Mirage. Probably I'll be grinding Red Tauforge again for my Ember because of the upcoming Arcane. So the whole point of getting a lot of power strength on my build is to get a lot of hit damage from the Fireball Frenzy augment. With the new Arcane that grants 300% critical chance bonus, it will be a massive boost to my Kuva Ogris, and I can't wait to see the clearing potential of this build in Steel Pot levels. Ember is not the only one that will benefit from the new upcoming Arcane Hotshot item. The new Warframe Temple has hit abilities, and probably the new Arcane will work with the new Warframe. Aside from these Warframes, there are 9 other Warframes that can potentially benefit from this new Arcane. Citrine is one, as she got the ability to proc hit damage on her Prismatic Gem skill. Then there's Chroma with her Spectral Scream, and there might be a possibility that the hit damage from his Elemental Ward can proc the critical chance from the Arcane. If it does, then this will be a massive boost to Chroma, since we all know that the Warframe is a weapon specialist in the game. Gauss can also inflict hit damage with his Thermal Sander, and in fact, all Warframes can potentially take advantage of the new Arcane because Thermal Sander is a subsume ability and you have the choice to equip it in your favorite Warframe. Kume is also a candidate for this Arcane with her Komihimo skill that can inflict hit status. Also, Firewalker Neza will be special with this Arcane, and just imagine how busted it would be given that Neza has a nuking setup in the game that can deal massive damage. If Firewalker will be efficient in proccing the Arcane, then we will see some Red Crit Nuker Neza builds on the way. Titania is also a great candidate when it comes to this, as she can proc hit with her Lantern abilities damage. It would also be interesting if Digital Extremes will consider Exalted Weapons to activate the effect of the Arcane. If it does, then we can include Excalibur, Baruch, Mesa, and even Titania's Dex Pixia on the list. If Digital Extremes let us use the new Arcane Hotshot with Exalted Weapons, then this is a great replacement for the Red Crit setup that will be lost for Mesa's Peacemaker. Remember that stat stick will be removed in the upcoming update, and the Incarnon Ceramic Dagger plus secondary Outburst Drake will be gone. If somehow Arcane Hotshot will work with Mesa's Peacemaker, then we can pair this with Orange Archon Shards for more critical chance and potentially get a decent Red Crit Peacemaker build for the Warframe. There's also a possibility that Exalted Melees can proc the new Arcane Hotshot, and this will be super busted with Wukong's Iron Staff, given that he also got a critical chance buffer augment for his Exalted Weapon. Then there's Excalibur and Baruch, which by the way will get more overpowered with Red Crit builds, as mods like Blood Rush will work for their Exalted Weapons in the upcoming update, and the range attack or the waves and projectiles of their Exalted Weapons will now contribute to the combo counter. This means that we can effectively take advantage of the Blood Rush mod, allowing us to potentially use a decent crit build without the need of subsuming Wrathful Advance on the Warframes. Voruna has the potential to use this Arcane also because of her Fangs of Rush that has the chance to inflict hit damage. And the same goes with Whiz's 4th ability that can deal hit damage. By the way, Whiz has an upcoming augment also, which will somehow pair well with this new critical chance Arcane, and I can't wait to test it out for myself. I will make a video about the upcoming 4 augments tomorrow and how these new mods can create a potentially broken build for Corvex, Whiz, Kume, and Jar. Finally, the new Arcane Hotshot can potentially work with Lavos Prime, as he can inflict hit damage using his ultimate ability. However, there are still questions that needs to be answered so that we can consider all these warframes good for the upcoming Hotshot Arcane. First of all, we still don't know how the buff stacking will work. Will the new Arcane allow us to get a stack of the buff per hit status we inflict to an enemy, or will it be per cast of the ability that can inflict hit status? If it's the former, then the new Arcane will be very good for all the warframes that I have mentioned on this video. And honestly, I am rooting that the Arcane will work this way, as it will be more rewarding to grind for this new item. The new Arcane Hotshot can only be obtained from the new Temporal Archimedia on day 1, and probably it will be tradable to other players. Now, this new Temporal Archimedia is the version of the Deep Archimedia in Höllvania. Basically, you will be spending those research points, and you have the option to spend 2 points on the Sanctum Archimedia and then 2 points on the new Temporal Archimedia in the Warframe 1999 content. The one research point left is probably for Netrasal missions, and I just hope that the stacking of the Arcane buff will work per hit status inflicted to enemies by a skill and not the other way around. Because if it does, then most warframes that I have mentioned here will not benefit so well with the new Arcane Hotshot, and it would take time to build up that 50 stacks if it's per cast of the ability that inflict hit status. Also, there's no word that it will work with exalted weapons, but assuming that the new Warframe Temple has an exalted weapon, Digital Extremes might be generous and make it work with exalted weapons in the game. If it does, then the exalted rework will be more fun in the upcoming update. Finally, we still don't know if the critical chance will be a flat critical chance bonus or not, but honestly, I think it would not be a flat bonus, as it will be super busted knowing that the Arcane will work for all weapons in the game. The critical chance buff might stack multiplicatively with other critical chance buff, just like what we see from Nidus Teeming Virulence Augment, or even from the secondary Outburst Arcane. It may sound like a mid-arcane, but it does work with all weapons, and you can treat it as an extra critical chance buff to get those red crit numbers to almost every weapon in the game. There are more things to discuss on the upcoming update, but I was really hyped when I saw this new Arcane. Rest assured that I will tackle all the upcoming changes, especially on the Ash changes, which I think will have a huge impact, and we might possibly see a nuking setup for this Warframe that don't rely on the Mark for Death mechanic. For now, all the things you have heard on this video are theories on what will work for the upcoming Arcane Hotshot, but rest assured that I'll test all these theories on day 1 and give the final conclusive answer. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in our next video. Squad Leader signing off.
For a yap.
All right.
I've been waiting for a Pablo yap for so long.
Short gap, I think. Once you reach ranks 5 in the heck, you will have access to Kaya Velasco. She will trust you enough to get things going. So what's Temporal Archimedia?
Yeah, see everyone excited about it. Temporal Archimedia, as you may have guessed, is essentially, when we created the system of Archimedia, we always wanted to make it something that then we could implement in like new expansions with changes. So in this case, it's kind of similar to what you know, but it has an extra system, which is the sticker system. So these are stickers that you can collect by playing Deep Archimedia, and you can upgrade, and they'll give you certain buffs that you can use to kind of counteract some of the deviations and stuff like that from Deep Archimedia, and you can make some pretty interesting builds with that stuff. And she's the one that collects them all. I had to write this down, 15 new deviations, 11 new risk variables, and 7 new personal modifiers. The personal modifiers apply here and back on the other Deep Archimedia, but all of the deviations and the risk variables are just for this one. So it will have quite a few different things that you haven't experienced yet. Over there you can see the pick chips, or I think there's more along the way, and those you can use to get more stickers to keep growing your collection.
And the way this works for you as a player is right now, if you're in the if you're playing Deep Archimedia and Netracells, you know you have basically like 5 searches. You use 2 for Deep Archimedia, 3 for Netracells. This uses 2 of those. Yeah. So your weekly option is now Temporal Archimedia, Deep Archimedia, and 1 Netracell, or however you want to split the ratio out. So it's part of the same pool of gameplay slots, so to speak.
Yeah. Obviously, this is using all the 1999 missions and stuff, so yeah, it's quite a bit it's basically a refresh on that idea.
And it had the rewards. Yes, you want to show the Peely token rewards?
Yeah, I mean, you go into this. I don't know if they're all listed. So yeah, there's 3 new arcanes there. There's the Peely picks. There's a display to show the Peely picks as decorations, and then you can get bots for once basically, kind of once you run once you get all the picks, the Peely picks and the arcanes, you could get.
Not the crypto comments. Come on.
Yeah,
Not the crypto.
Kaya is a 1999 genius. She's starting the crypto bubble before it even.
Don't even put that out there.
90s crypto.
Yeah, but she does have her own story as well. And once we get back to the back room, we'll go over a little bit of how the Kim system has been expanded for these 4 new characters.
I see some people claiming if we can show the arcanes. I think they're fun.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sure.
You can just hover